That's a funny intro.
Oh, I set it up for 30 minutes. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where in the world you are at today. All right. Scrambling at the last second to get everything working. We have another spotlight today, but I got bigger news than that. I've been waiting for this day for over a year. We're going to go straight to our housekeeping. I'm going to hide our special guest here. Actually, no, we'll leave him on. Everybody give a warm round of applause to Brian Ross, owner, home inspector of Details Home Inspections. He's going to be joining us today. I was going to do an introduction in a minute, but he's already on the screen, so we're going to run with it. Say hi, Brian.
Good morning, everybody.
If you are in the chat, can you just let me know that our audio is up and running and everything sounds good? Good morning, Troy. Good morning, Uva. All right. Here's the big announcement. According to Mortgage News Daily, FHA interest rates have broken below 6%. A little echo. We're going to turn this mic off and see what happens. All right. Is the echo gone? Are we good? Somebody say if we're good in the chat. Okay, good. We have broken the floor. We are below 6%. Get out the fireworks. Go to social media. It's time to celebrate. Now, the question is, how long are we going to stay here? My prediction is we are in the new future. I think we're going to stay below 6% for the remainder of the year and continue to improve. That's my projection. It could be completely wrong. Look at this. Conforming loan rates have fallen from 6.45 on yesterday's video to 6.29 today, and our jumbo rate 6.25, a loan amount over $802,650. The interest rate 6.25, that's less than the conforming rate. Uva's crazy prediction is we go to 4.5%. Now, if you would have said that a year ago, 18 months ago, people would have thought you're crazy. People would have thought we're never going to see 4.5%. But I think that the future is so unclear that you can't put any weight on predictions that people think will never happen. Okay, I don't know if 4.5's in the realm of possibilities. Maybe. What would that do to our market? I'm going to say something kind of crazy here. The consensus in the mortgage and real estate industry is there's this fear around if interest rates come down quickly, we're going to have runaway pricing. And that may very well be true. You've heard this guy say that on this stream. But how long will that take? And my thought the last week or two, just kind of contemplating what's going to happen, is we could see interest rates come down quickly and have enough inventory to absorb all the new buyers that are waiting on the sidelines to make that purchase. But buyers are not the only ones that have been waiting on the sidelines. Sellers have been waiting on the sidelines. Almost, I mean, you could say that the amount of sellers that are waiting on the sidelines to sell their home because interest rates are in the sixes might outweigh the buyers that are sitting on the sidelines. So as interest rates come down, we may see sellers hit the market because now they feel more comfortable leaving a 3.5% rate, 3% rate that they got during COVID and upgrading their home, relocating, downsizing, where rates are in the fives, we might see a bunch of them come into the market. Uva has the best comments. Yeah, I agree with you, Uva. Something's going to give. And I think those are some good points you put in the chat. All right. So we have a ton to cover today. Let's go back to our special guest. You know him, Brian Ross, outside joining us today. Our realtor spotlight this morning is home inspector. What are you seeing in the market right now?
For buyers?
Yeah,
sellers,
just
everybody?
maybe for number of home inspections. Are home inspections up, down?
Yeah, I just was running numbers yesterday. Actually, we were above last year, month over month, but we were down from 23 in August. So kind of a weird little split. And August is when all this kind of started happening with the interest rates. So yeah, stuff's starting to come back. I know pending sales in our area is up. So there's definitely a lot more people out there shopping.
Good. It's always good to get insight from somebody that is not a real estate agent or a mortgage guy. Let's look at some market statistics. Every week, Gavin Hutkins over at Berkshire Hathaway sends over some market statistics. This is our lockbox activity. So every time a real estate agent opens a lockbox on a house, that data is collected, and that's what we're looking at here. For Oregon, down 1.6%. For Washington, up 0.9. I'm going to call that flat. Nothing exciting, but it is good that we didn't see a drop-off. School started last week, so this is typically when we see the end of the buying season and we see lockbox activity slow, but it's kind of good that it's flat. We'll see what happens going into this week, but this number will be really interesting. I think that we might see interest rates, especially that FHA being below 6%, keep these numbers where they're at. As we see first-time home buyers actually be able to have a chance at some home affordability and get into a home with a payment they can handle. Let's look at one more. This was surprising. So this is week over week in Clark County, new listings down 22%. I think that falls in line with school starting. The agents in the chat, what do you guys think about new listings being down 22%? I also think that number is skewed because we saw such a massive amount of listings hit the market last month that number coming down a little bit was already inflated. Pending sales to homes that have gone into contract, up 16%, 217 homes. I don't think you could use this as clickbait and say, oh my God, interest rates are below 6%. We're seeing the market shift, but I don't think that's the case here. You're going to have to show me 3 or 4 weeks of that in a row to prove that point. And then we had 208 homes that were pending sold. That's up 30%. All right. You guys ready for house number 1 with a home inspector? I've got 3 banger houses today.
Yeah, ask away. Any questions for me too?
And that's what I want to do today. I picked these 3 homes out knowing that you were coming on, Brian. For people that maybe are relocating to the area that are outside of the Pacific Northwest, keep them in mind as we go through here. But we're going to start. We're going to start, and then I'm going to show you something. We're going to start here. We are going to 161 Miko Road in Washougal, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 4,250 square feet. It's a huge home for under $1 million, listed at $899,900, sitting on 2.5 acres. This home was built in 2008. This home is being listed by Catherine. Let's see what Catherine has to say. Discover this 4270 square feet private retreat with 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, and stunning mountain views, perfect for multi-generational living. It offers 2 full kitchen, 2 primary suites, 2 laundry rooms, a theater room, and a separate entry. Modern updates include new plumbing. I love it when they kind of do bullet points with dates in their description. This description's awesome. Modern updates that include new plumbing in 2023. New siding in 2021 and asphalt in 2024, new water heater in 2022. Brian, new plumbing in 2023 on a 2008 home. Does that raise any red flags for you? Is that weird?
No, not really. It probably had, at that time when it was built, it probably had CPVC, which is kind of the ivory color plumbing that you see. They're starting to have issues with that stuff being brittle, and so that might have been what it had, and so they upgraded it to the more the newer modern PEX, which is a newer plastic, but that's probably what they replaced, is my guess.
I guess that would make sense, and what a cool feature to have on a 2008 home is to know it has new plumbing. And the new siding. Why would you re-side a 2008 home? You think maybe there was damage there?
Possibly. I don't know what it had before. Can you scroll back up real quick?
Yeah. That looks like Hardy, right?
Yeah. Which you would think that was probably built with that, but it might have been something else. It might have been like T111 or fiberboard or something like that. So they just updated it.
Now, these are great questions also to ask your real estate agent, because they should be able to go look and see if there was any claims on the house, if there's any damage that should be released by the sellers, if there was maybe a fire or something to require the siding to be replaced. Step outside to a 2,400 square foot TimberTech vintage collection wraparound deck. That's manufactured decking, right?
Yep. Composite.
The fully fenced property features gated entry, fenced garden with raised beds, dog kennel, irrigation in a tranquil creek, romantic, secluded, modern yet classic, and designed for both connection and privacy. This home is a rare find. Very, very good description. Short. Let's look at some pictures.
The only thing I don't know if it has outbuildings or anything like that, but I wish more realtors would describe the size and things that they have besides the house in that. So like if they had like a garage, detached garage, or even a shed or an outbuilding, like people I feel like would really want to know, hey, I have like a 400 square foot, shed out back, like something like that. I think is something you could probably add to the description a little bit.
Yeah, totally agree. When you do a home inspection, are the outbuildings included?
No, those are additional charges, but a lot of people want to know what's going on with them, especially if they have electric and plumbing in them.
So there's our very nice gravel drive, and it sounds like the entire 2.5 acres is fenced with a gate going into this drive. I'm gonna go back here. I love the new asphalt. I think that was put in a couple years ago. Beautiful drive, lots of landscaping.
Looks like it's up on a hill too.
Yeah, keep talking, Brian. I got to plug in my other laptop, or else we're gonna die here.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Washougal is kind of out in they call it the gateway to the gorge, but a lot of these houses in the countryside where they have higher acreage. I don't know what the acreage was on this one, but those were
2.5.
Okay, cool. So a lot of those are, up on the hill, which a lot of times have great views. Looks like this one's more treed, but yeah.
Wow, nice and bright on the inside. Looks like Engineered hardwood floors, if I had to guess.
Yep. That's pretty much what they do these days.
How do you feel about skylights?
Well, from a home inspection purpose, I tell everybody they are a hole in the roof. So they most likely will leak at some time. So it takes lots of maintenance and keeping up on those things.
But the benefit is you got a huge amount of natural light coming into the great room. I haven't seen a lot of homes with skylights right above the center of the great room. I think that's pretty cool. And how cool is this backsplash? Looks like brick. We're going to get a closer look, but this backsplash really kind of centers that kitchen. It's the standout feature, in my opinion.
Yeah, that natural light's pretty cool too.
Cool features. Now, huge island, and it looks like a concrete countertop.
Yep.
And that is brick. I thought it was tile. It's probably some sort of brick, like
brick
like
veneer.
fake, yeah,
Yep.
Brick veneer.
Copper lights.
Electric stove. So I'm guessing this home is not on gas. That's so funny. Who heard the thunderstorms last night? Did you get thunderstorms out in your area at 4:30 in the morning?
No.
It was like lightning was hitting in my street. It woke everybody in the house up. Flashes every 3 or 4 seconds. It was crazy. And my wife woke up from a nightmare about an owl. She heard an owl outside right before the thunderstorms. And there's a big picture of an owl right there. I think there's a connection there, Mrs. Steinman. Cool light fixtures.
Isn't that under the Tuscan sun too, where there's a big thunderstorm and there's an owl outside?
Under the Tuscan sun. Oh, the movie?
The movie.
I'd have to go back and watch. Maybe that's what we'll watch today.
Yeah, your wife will know. Yeah, great lighting in there for sure.
Okay, here's our primary. Bolted ceilings, French doors leading out to the back deck.
It's got great trim work. A lot of those 2006 through 2008 or 9 had that extra large trim work, which is very custom.
It really does add to the longevity of the house, although, not to be a contrarian, they have these nice wide baseboards, but no millwork around the windows.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is an expensive upgrade, but when you're looking at this era home, it really does add some timelessness to the house, having that extra millwork. But at the same time, we're at 4,200 square feet on 2.5 acres for under $1 million. So I think that it's, appropriate. Freestanding tub. What about freestanding tubs? Any home inspection issues there?
No, not really. They're kind of treated almost like a toilet if you think about it. I mean, all the plumbing's right in the middle underneath, so if you had any leaks, you usually can see it all the way around it versus a concealed tub.
Very nice tile. This has all been remodeled. Matches the cabinets in the kitchen, if I remember right. Nice big walk-in closet. Tile goes all the way into the walk-in closet. Kind of a well thought out bathroom, huh? Okay, office. The more I look at those floors, Brian, those might be hardwoods.
They might be, yeah. Especially at the age of the house, it might be.
Yes, bath.
I bet they upgraded the cabinetry too. A lot of those looked pretty high end.
For sure. And I think this might give us a glimpse to what it looked like before. There's some original closet doors, an original door there. This must be bedroom number 2. Bedroom number 3. Nice utility room. Is this something you like to see, a tray under the washer?
Yeah, absolutely. We suggest it a lot when they have their laundry on the second floor too, because you can catch leaks and stuff a little bit sooner without, having it damage a lot of stuff. So yeah, those are highly recommended. A lot of times the newer houses too, they'll put those in and the builder will plumb out basically like a drain line out to the exterior. So if something does happen, that water's going outside.
I should have done that when I remodeled my utility room after our dog turned on the utility sink while we were gone and flooded the entire house. That would have saved a lot of damage.
This is that laundry is probably on the first floor, and then what is there, a second floor underneath this probably? So that's probably why they have that added.
I almost want to say maybe there's a daylight basement, but I think this is all one level, but you might be right. Okay, so now we're in that second living space they talked about, and a second kitchen. Very cool ceiling here, and I noticed a wood burning stove. Any concerns among the wood burning stove? Do you guys inspect those?
Yeah, we do. Basically, you want to keep combustible materials away from it. So that's why they have that little pad at the bottom, which is probably tile or something like that. So any embers or sparks that come out, you don't have possibility of catching fire. And then you want usually something behind it as well, as far as the heat and things like that are non-combustible.
It's so okay. We are downstairs. This is like
right there.
Yeah. Nice kitchen. So this is the 4th bedroom, kind of a primary. You got your own bathroom there.
Yeah, ensuite for sure.
Very nice. Oh, cool. Movie room. Very nice. I'm counting that as a 5th bedroom. Another shower. Okay. Back deck. Beautiful, large back deck.
That's the newer composite decking right there.
Very nice. A huge deck. Okay, very cool dog kennel. Dog kennels are one of those things that is going to focus your audience a little bit, right? Because some people might go, oh, they must have had a lot of dogs. But some people like myself who have hunting dogs might go, oh, awesome, there's a built-in kennel. There's your raised garden bed, fire pit, cool lights. I don't know, the agents on the chat, I think this house is priced extremely well. Is there something I'm missing here? I mean, the houses we've been looking at this summer, it would not shock me to see a home like this at like 1.2, 1.3. Maybe it's a motivated seller. This is a brand new listing, but priced at $899, $900. You're getting a lot here.
Yeah, it looks pretty dialed for that price.
Okay. We're going to go over some numbers. We're going to go over this fairly quickly. How are we doing on time, Brian? Do you have a hard stop? I told you I was just going to have you on for the first house, but if you want to stay on for the other two, that would be great. If not, you can jump off. Just let me know.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so 20% down, 30-year fixed, very vanilla. And we are adding a loan feature on here, which you've heard me talk about ad nauseum, because I think it is the most valuable tool to add to almost any mortgage in this market to take advantage of that turning point we talked about, our tipping point. And that's that temporary 2-1 buy down. So with 20% down, according to Mortgage News Daily, the national average for a 30-year fixed conforming loan is 6.29. That's down 0.25% from earlier in the week, which is just crazy to have that big of a drop. If we look at a payment breakdown, principal and interest with 20% down would be $44.51. Property taxes, now the county records show $309 a month. I think that is artificially low for some reason. I could be wrong. Zillow gave an estimate of $550. Just know that $309, that's the county records, but that seems low to me. So it might change once it's assessed with the new owners. $100 a month for homeowners insurance, no mortgage insurance because we're putting 20% down, gives us a total payment of $48.60. How does that number sit with you, Brian, from analyzing this current real estate market, home affordability? A home like that at $900,000, what do you think about that payment? How does that make you feel?
Pretty good. Plus you get what, 2.5 acres? Yeah. One thing I didn't notice on there, we went over, was it on well or are you on city water?
It didn't say.
Yeah. Because a lot of those houses out there are on wells. So I mean, that's an expense that you're not paying monthly as well. Which, yeah, can add for sure. I mean, a couple $100 a month.
If we rewind to May or March, you're easily looking at a $5,400 payment. So even though $4,800 is a large payment, I think that payment shock, like you just said, and with your reaction, is starting to go away as rates come down. Okay, so if we were to add that 2-1 temporary buy down on this 20% down, year one, your interest rate would be reduced or bought down temporarily for the first 12 months to 4.29%. That would give you a savings of $892 a month for the first 12 months. So let's say I'm a seller that's been on the fence waiting for rates to come down. Okay, rates are coming down. I'm going to go ahead and sell my house. And I'm leaving a $2,600 payment. But I want this nice big house. It's a big jump for me to go to 48, but it's nice having that introductory payment for the first year of $39.67. Makes it a lot easier for me to get used to that higher payment by saving that $892 a month for the first 12 months. And then in year two, your interest rate is reduced by 1%. 2% the first year, 1% the second year. That's a 2-1 temporary buy down. So our interest rate would be 5.29, saving us $458 a month for the second year. And then in years 3 through 30, we're at the full payment. Now, if interest rates continue to improve, we're looking to take advantage of a refinance opportunity somewhere in the low fives, where we can lock in that rate, where if that opportunity presents itself, we'll never fully see this payment. Now, you're going to qualify on this payment. Refinances are never guaranteed, and you need to be comfortable with this payment for the life of the loan. But this is how I would take advantage of this market. The cost of this temporary 2-1 buy down is $16,200, which we are going to have the sellers pay for us. That's the cost of the sellers. If we were to come in and offer 20 grand under asking on this house, we might save $120 a month. So instead of asking for a price reduction, we're just going to ask them to give us 16 grand towards our temporary buy down, and we're going to save that $892 for the first 12 months. Okay. That was house number one. I was so excited and had so much going on this morning. I don't know if you guys saw my intro. What do you think of that intro, Brian?
It's pretty cool.
That's the mascot. In-N-Out. We went to the new In-N-Out in Washington. We're in In-N-Out in Richfield, fastest growing city in the state of Washington, now has an In-N-Out. Don't believe the hype. The lines were not that bad. The first time we went on opening day, we were there maybe 45 minutes. And then we went to the drive-through, and that took maybe 30 minutes last week. So not bad at all. Another thing. Now, I've had some people reach out to me in the comments asking how they can get a hold of me. There are several ways to get a hold of me. I hope that I'm the easiest guy in the world to get a hold of, right? If you want to have a conversation about relocating the area, if you want to pick my brain on real estate mortgages in the Northwest, if you want to talk about financing, see what options are available for you, there is a link in the description to schedule a 15-minute phone call with me. And my website, Loans by Cody, is also in the description. If you click on there, all my contact information, my email address, my phone number is all on there. You can even apply now, although I do like to talk to you before you do that. But if you want to get started, you can do that. So all my contact information can be found there. So feel free to reach out to me. And if you're looking for a real estate agent, we have a list of preferred agents on the channel. A lot of them are in the chat. Troy Jensen's in the chat. Gavin, I believe, is in the chat. So we always have some of the best real estate agents in the Northwest live on the channel on Saturdays. Okay, you guys ready for house? Oh, we're gonna go to the White House. We do this once a month. So the Saturday before the election, the presidential election, we did a White House special where we looked at houses that were white, okay? And we use that as a benchmark to track FHA rates to see what that does to our home affordability, to our payment. On November 2nd, the national average on an FHA mortgage was 6.62%. So this $535,000 kind of a starter home, your payment would have been $4,009. This Saturday, in December 7th, that Saturday, interest rates fell down to 6.12 after the election, saving you $172 a month from November. I didn't have enough room on the screen, but you can kind of see this roller coaster of our savings. Saving $172 a month. Now we're only saving $24 a month in January. We're saving $41 in April, $52 in June, $79 in July. August 7th, we are back to $172 a month at the 6.12. Look at this. At 5.95%, we're saving $232 a month. That's equivalent to $40,000 in borrowing power, meaning we can buy a house for $40,000 more and have our payment the same as a less expensive house by 40 grand in November. So we're going to continue to track this. We've been complaining about home affordability for the last 18 months, and we're starting to see that tipping point. So we're going to be following this very closely. Okay. You guys ready for house number 2? You sticking on with us, Brian?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I brought up that national average on FHA for a reason. So our next home is a great first-time home buyer home, or maybe somebody that's selling their first house, like a condo that has a family now, that wants to get in the coveted 98685 zip code, which is Philida. So you're in Columbia River, Philida, and Jefferson schools. And it's very, very desirable neighborhood, known for very strong appreciation and holding their home values. We're going to 2500 Northwest 100th Street, Vancouver, Washington, 98685, 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,398 square feet, listed at $495. This home was built in 1972, sits on a third of an acre. This home is listed by Dylan with Works Real Estate. Starting to see some Works Real Estate listing signs as I drive around town. I think they're a fairly new real estate office. Are you familiar with them? Details?
Yeah, we work with a fair amount of them. They've been around for a while. They're just starting to expand more onto the Vancouver side.
That's great. All right, let's see what Dylan has to say. Welcome home to this well-maintained, move-in ready ranch set on a quiet street in one of Vancouver's favorite neighborhoods. This home makes everyday living feel just right. Inside, you'll find 3 comfortable bedrooms, 2 full baths, and a generously sized bonus room that opens directly to the backyard, perfect for summer dinners, weekend gatherings, or quiet mornings. The shaded tree-lined yard offers space to relax, while extra parking adds convenience. From the peaceful street to the warm, welcoming interiors, this home delivers comfort, charm, and space. Nothing wrong with this description. But for people that are looking or interviewing agents or agents that are watching, do you see the difference between the first description and this one? This is a very nice, well-written description, makes me feel very good, but it doesn't tell me anything about the condition of the house, upgrades that have been done, details that are going to answer questions that we're going to have when we look at this house. So nothing wrong here, and the house is being held open today, so we can go ask those questions. But I love the descriptions that give us the answers to questions we're going to have when we look at these pictures. Okay, for some reason, we're starting on picture 23.
Yeah, it's the new Zillow virtual. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's very hard to get to where you need to go right away.
All right, well, we'll just start here. This looks like an office. Now we do have, I'm going to say vinyl plank flooring.
Yeah, for sure on that. Yep.
Looks very good. To your point, on the last house, we have crown molding in here, nice baseboards, ceiling fan. I probably would have taken this picture without the terrier on the back deck, but there's a cute little dog in there. Okay, here's our bathroom. In 1972, we got, it has been updated, but we have Formica countertops. Nothing wrong here. Brian, does your radar change when you go to a house that was built in the 70s?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things to look for different in that area, that time area. There was a lot of different plumbing going on, a lot of different sidings. 70s and 90s are kind of their own little animals as far as products that came out. So yeah, those are a lot of things that we're definitely looking at in that period of home. Galvanized plumbing for sure is something you want to look out for on these 70s houses. Just because insurance now these days, they're kind of being more picky on what they're insuring. So definitely something to look for.
We're going through these kind of quick, but the house looks like it's in really good shape. Painted cabinets in the kitchen look great. They did put in slab granite. That looks great. Electric stove. I know there's natural gas available in this neighborhood, but probably not in the 70s. Okay, how do you feel about these wall heaters?
Yeah, wall heaters. There was one in the bathroom as well. So they probably had baseboard heating in the 70s, and so they probably upgraded these in the 90s. So very common. They work great. People just don't maintain them. You can see that one right there. It kind of has some char marks towards the top. You got they're basically like big toasters, so you have to make sure they're clean of lint and stuff like that, just fire hazard stuff.
Now, here's a great time to talk about this. So let's say we get a home inspection done on this house, and there's nothing major to report, but you're going to put, I would imagine, in the home inspection that these heaters need to be serviced.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, if you're an agent watching, feel free to chime in, but this would be a good opportunity after we're in contract, we have our home inspection, to go back to the sellers and ask for some of these things to be serviced, like these heaters, or just replaced and updated to newer ones that might be a little safer. That's not an expensive upgrade, is it, Brian?
No, those are pretty easy. Cadet's actually a local company too. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
one other thing too on that, like what you're alluding at, is if the listing agent is prepping these homes and they do have those things serviced beforehand, it's way easier just to put that in the description like the previous one, or at least have paperwork ready for potential buyers, so everybody's under the same impression of what's already happening.
And this is a great time to bring that up to what you're alluding to, okay? Is like we talked about in the beginning, there is a lot of sellers waiting on the sidelines as rates come down that will be selling their homes as rates come down and taking advantage of the low rates. So one thing they can do, so we look at this as a negotiation tool. I see that heater that needs to be serviced. There's going to be lots of little things I would imagine on this house. Let's say there's nothing big. There's no cracks in the foundation or no water leaks. So my agent and I are going to go in and we're going to negotiate for these repairs. We might ask for $5,000 to $10,000 in credit from the sellers for these small repairs. So if you are a seller that's on the fence that might be selling their home in the next 12 months, reach out to Brian over at Details Home Inspection, because you can get a pre-listing inspection done.
Yep.
And then you'll take that report and you might get ahead of it. It might be a lot less expensive for you to go spend $1,000 to replace all those heaters, to have brand new heaters with a tag hanging off of them, right? To show they're brand new. And then to have the home inspection report to go along with it. You're going to jump ahead and you'll be one step ahead of somebody that's going to come in and negotiate, because there'll be nothing to negotiate for. Is that what you were alluding to?
Yep. And people want more information these days, and so having that, I think, kind of makes a better selling point for when you're listing your house.
Kind of a cool entry with this cutout in the wall there. Wood burning stove, nice fireplace, fireplace there. Nothing wrong here to report. Looks very nice. You know, we're only dealing with 1,400 square feet. There's the exterior of the home. Paint looks good. Roof looks good. Anything that you see that I don't here?
Nope, looks pretty good. Chimney looks pretty good too. Like they maintained it, at least went through it. Looks pretty good.
Okay, we're not going to go through the rest of the pictures. In Florida, forgot to do this for Washougal. In Florida, there are currently, let's look at Washougal, because this is what's cool about these reports. Gavin Huckins over at Berkshire Hathaway sends these reports. It's hard to talk about the market in Clark County as a whole, to say, oh, it's a seller's market or it's a buyer's market. It really changes from neighborhood to neighborhood. Here's Washougal, 112 homes currently for sale, compared to Florida, 63. So almost half the inventory in Florida, 63 homes for sale. The median list price is $780. Median square footage is 2,900 square feet. We're at 1,400. $699 is the median price for homes that have gone pending at 2,300 square feet. And then homes that have sold, $650 at 2,500 square feet. So we're well under average market value in Florida. Okay, so this is the last 2-1 buy down we're going to do. We're going to show you something different on the next house, but on this house, FHA 5.95, guys, under 6%. If you missed the intro, we have broken the threshold. My predictions, we're going to stay here for a while. We are under 6% according to Mortgage News Daily on the national average for FHA. We are under that 6% threshold. Quick payment breakdown. Principal and interest $2,901, property taxes $398, homeowners insurance somewhere around $100 a month. I've seen some interesting quotes. Insurance spiked this year, but I've seen a lot of quotes under $100 recently. But $100 is what we're estimating. $217 a month for FHA mortgage insurance, monthly mortgage insurance, for a total payment of $3,616. In this scenario, this first one here, we're going to come in and ask the sellers to pay all of our closing costs. So let's say I'm fine with the payment, but I don't have 27,000. I'm about 10,000 shy. Well, come in, we can ask the sellers to pay all of our closing costs for us, which brings us down to cash out of pocket 17,325, which is just our down payment. But let's say that I have the 26,000, but I really don't like that $3,600 payment. We could, instead of asking the sellers to pay our closing costs, we're going to ask them to pay our temporary 2-1 buy down. And yes, you could ask them to pay for both. But I just want to show you the difference here. And this is why it's so important to have a strategy going into it. There's lots of different ways to finance a home, especially with all these features that we have available to us now. So if we were to add the 2-1 temporary buy down, our interest rate would drop to 3.95. It's been since there was a global pandemic when everybody was sick that I've been able to say an interest rate that starts with 3. Okay, so for the first year, 3.95, bringing our payment down to $3,023, saving us $593 a month. Year 2 would be 4.95, saving us $4 a month, bringing our payment to $3,312. And then years 3 through 30, $3,600. We're going to look for a refinance opportunity somewhere on that high 4%. If that was too fast for you, when you're done with this video, rewind. We went through it really slowly on the first house. Okay. All right, Brian, do you have time for one more?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right, our last house for this Saturday. We're going to go through this kind of quick. We're going a little long today. All right, enough said has a question. How do DIY upgrades and additions play out during inspections? I know enough said. Another way to ask that question is, how do 90% complete upgrades? Because if you go in his house, he's famous for starting a project, taking it 90%. I'm just joking, enough said. Yeah, so how do DIY upgrades and additions play out during home inspections? You're answering it in the chat, but go ahead and respond to that if you will, Brian.
Yeah, so a lot of times any additions like that, they're gonna need city permit and approval. So the city inspectors are gonna be looking at that kind of stuff. If you're doing unpermitted things, there's usually telltale signs when you're doing a home inspection that it's been done by a homeowner. So a lot of times those things will get kind of flagged out in an inspection report for further evaluation. Comes up often.
And that can be financing. That can cause financing issues too if an underwriter sees that there's unpermitted work. And where they're going to see that is not a home inspection. I know we got another house and we're running out of time, but very rarely, I would say 1 time out of 1,000 would an underwriter request a copy of the home inspection. But they will 100% get a copy of the appraisal. And if the appraiser notices unpermitted work, they will comment that in the appraisal. That may cause issues with your financing. So if you are a seller, or enough said, that's done some upgrades that maybe should have been permitted that weren't, take care of that before you put your house on the market, because that could cause a sale fail. Okay. This house caught my attention. Now, I think all 3 of these homes hit the market today. So these are all brand new listings. We're going to 707 3rd Street in Woodland, Washington. 4 beds, 2 baths, 1,920 square feet, asterisks. Okay, we'll talk about the asterisks here in a second. Listed at $439, and this is in proper Woodland, right next to Horseshoe Lake, right next to the school. Built in 1935. Everyone knows I love vintage houses. 1935 in the city of Woodland is kind of cool, in my opinion. This home is listed by Fran. Let's see what Fran has to say. it's a turn of the century total charmer, just blocks from the recreation and beauty of fabulous Horseshoe Lake. This inviting home blends vintage character with thoughtful updates, and the price includes a brand new roof for peace of mind. Inside, you'll find 2 bedrooms and 1 full bath on the main level, plus 2 additional bedrooms and another full bath upstairs. Plenty of space for family, guests, and home office. The lower level basement offers a massive amount of storage, craft space, or a workshop area, adding incredible functionality. Now, this is where the asterisk is. I don't know this for a fact, but I am willing to guess that 1,900 square feet includes the square footage in the basement. Your appraiser is going to not count that square footage as the same as your main level square footage. Very common, especially in like downtown Vancouver, to see people list the home including all that basement square footage. So it's something to think about. The large garage, paved RV parking, and generous lot size provides room for all your hobbies and outdoor gear. This home location couldn't be better, close to Woodland School, shopping, restaurants, and the majestic Columbia River. Nestled in the heart of vintage downtown Woodland, this property is surrounded by a quiet neighborhood with nearby churches. There's a church parking lot on the other side of your fence. Parks, schools, and excellent walkability with this charming character, versatile layout, and prime location in this up and coming area. Okay. Okay, look at some pictures. What are your initial thoughts when you look at this house?
I like it. It's great. Good curb appeal for sure.
I think it's awesome. I love the brick. It almost looks like a Texas home. Cool lot. You got your garage, detached garage on the back side. Landscaping looks great. They say new roof. I would say I wish there was a date in that description, because that roof looks new, but I don't know how new.
Yeah, just from my eyes, I would say it's probably 5 years, maybe 5 to 10.
I have a question. I have this same problem. I cut the cord on my satellite TV years ago. Okay? We don't have satellite TV anymore, but I do have a rusted out satellite dish on my roof still. And I'm nervous to take it off because there's holes there. So I've just left it. I might even just take off the dish, but leave the base plate on. Looks like we have the same issue here with this house. What is your advice?
They don't even install them on the actual roof anymore, probably because they had issues with leaks. Now they do it kind of on the underside of the soffit, and then it kind of brackets around, so they're not like penetrating the roof. But yeah, you're gonna have open penetrations there from like the lag bolts and stuff like that, the base plate. They're usually sealed up, but yeah, it's something you're gonna have to maintain, or take it off entirely and fix those shingles and put flashing there.
Sounds like a project for future Cody. I think I'm just going with it. All right, let's look at this house. Okay, we have some siding on the other side. Now they say 2025 for the dates on these pictures, but if you're going to put new roof, don't you think you would want to come in and take care of this moss? Are you going to call that out in the home inspection?
For sure, that'll come up on a home inspection. That's what also showed me kind of the age of the house. You're not going to have that much moss unless it's 5+ years.
Yeah. Hey, there's our look.
5-year roof is still kind of newer. I mean, those are 25-year roofs.
There's your location next to the church. There's the school. You can go to Woodland High School football games. Their entry looks like a stone tile entry. That's kind of cool. Oh. All right, entries into the living area. Wainscoting on the wall looks nice. Ceiling fan. Not a great room concept, which I think is kind of cool. We got a separate kitchen there. Looks like older carpet, if I had to guess. We do have millwork around the windows. Keep in mind, this home was built in 1930. Tiny bedroom.
Yeah, the wainscoting is pretty neat. Got crown molding too.
Lots of character in this kitchen. Little dining nook, breakfast nook in here. Lots of woodwork. Those windows are super cool. Kind of a bullet style window across the kitchen into that dining nook. Formica countertops, or is that granite? I'm gonna guess Formica. Electric stove. All three homes today, electric stoves. We're gonna go through these kind of quick.
It looks like newer windows.
Yeah. I'd almost have a friend come in and build a booth in here. Take out that table, have a booth built in.
Little coffee nook.
Yeah. Back in the living space, bedroom number 2. We're gonna go through these fairly quickly. Now that's granite tile, so maybe the kitchen was granite tile.
Yeah, it's probably the same.
Okay, we're upstairs, 3rd bedroom, guest bath, 4th bedroom. This house would really look different if you replaced all that carpet, even if you just put vinyl plank flooring in. Okay, so here's the basement. Talk to us about basements.
Yeah, basements, you can see even that the base of that where that paint's peeling. So they probably have well, a lot of basements have the same issue as moisture intrusion just because they're subgrade. I did notice on the outside their gutter downspouts go right next to the house instead of pushing the rainwater away from the house, which could help prevent this kind of stuff. But yeah, basements are great. Definitely do some radon testing when you're in that area.
You know, Brian, I'd like to have you come on a somewhat regular basis. We're way over on time, but we didn't even touch on radon. And if you aren't familiar with the Northwest, that's something that we definitely talk about next time you come on. Another thing I noticed about this basement, I'm not sure what's going on here with this window.
That's probably crawl space access.
Okay, so FHA will have an issue. We can't see the whole basement. Maybe we'll see it in a second, but they do have requirements for the height of the windows in a basement. In a case of a fire, you're going to have to be able to easily get out of the window. So I can see this may be an issue for an FHA appraiser from a health and safety standpoint. Those windows don't look low enough. And that could be mediated with maybe a stair or a ladder. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've come up against that, but that could be an issue. We're still in the basement here. Same issue. All those windows are too high.
Yeah, 44 inches is fire egress off the ground.
And you know, we're running out of time. There's a lot going on in this picture. Maybe we'll have you back on again. But like, what's this piece? What's the piece of wood holding up the ceiling? I mean, there's some concerns here, right? But they did put in brand new sod. That looks great. All right, we're gonna go through financing really quick. Here's our in Woodland. There's 64 homes for sale, all in that 550 price range. So we're undervalued on this house. Really quickly, to give you guys an update on all government loans, I think this house can be financed one of 3 ways. FHA 5.95, total payment $31.92. If we were to go FHA with $24,000 out of pocket, I see an issue I'm going to fix really quick here. Really want to make sure I show you guys this correctly. This home in Woodland does qualify for USDA. It is in a USDA approved area. So you could come in. I love USDA loans. I think besides VA, they're the best zero down option out there. You can come in and
you should do an episode on that. I'm not very versed in USDA either.
We did one a couple weeks ago. We'll do it again. Maybe we'll focus on USDA next week. But zero down. If we look at a payment breakdown here of the USDA, look at the mortgage insurance. $127 a month compared to FHA at $193. Very inexpensive. Our payment is almost identical on the FHA versus USDA, but our cash to close is just our closing costs, $86.91. We could ask the sellers to pay that, so we could literally come in with $0 out of pocket and have a payment that's the same as FHA. So reach out to me if you guys want more information on USDA, especially in this home. I think it is the way to go. There's a lot of details in USDA, but this is a great way to go. And then VA, for all of our veterans out there, 5.97, $0 out of pocket, coming in with just our closing costs. Again, we can have the sellers pay those. Total payment $31.09 because we don't have any mortgage insurance. Brian, thank you so much, not only for coming on today, but for all your support with this channel. This idea to start this channel came up with over coffee in my office between you and me. And I just want to personally thank you for all your support in my business and what I'm doing here. Your partnership and friendship is very valued by me. So thank you very much. Any departing words of wisdom?
No, thanks for having me. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. DetailsHomeInspections.com is a great way to schedule or ask any questions.
I'll make sure that all of details information is in the description for this video, but for all of our videos going forward, we're cleaning up our descriptions and making sure all of our trusted partners on this channel are listed in that description. Like, subscribe, comment, all those fun things. I have a renewed vision for this channel. We're creating a community here, and we're going to blow this channel up and become the go-to resource for all things mortgage and real estate related in the Northwest. Go out and enjoy your weekend. We got a new video series starting Monday. We'll see everybody next Saturday live. Take care, and we'll see you soon.